So you wanna go to Sayulita. 7 nights, flashing lights, and the DJ spinning every.
We are headed back to Sayulita in a few weeks. Our next retreat is in May. We wanted to give you some information because a lot of people haven't traveled in the last few years. This is what we recommend to do to get to Sayulita. Number one, the first thing you need to do is get a ticket, a flight to Puerto Vallarta Airport.
You need to make sure you bring your passport. You cannot enter and you cannot come back without it.
I've been known to lose my passport. Make sure your passport is on you or you have someone who can take care of the passport. Number 3, you need to wear a mask still on the plane. So bring your mask. I recommend the N95, but you can kind of bring whatever you want as long as it's a legit mask. I don't think you can wear a gaiter.
No, you cannot. The fourth thing is, although it's not required, we do highly recommend that you take a COVID test prior to arrival. So there it is.
Yeah, you don't need a COVID test to enter Mexico. You don't need a COVID test to leave the US. You don't need to be vaccinated either. But we recommend having the test before you arrive or upon arrival, just so you know what you're dealing with. And then there will be a required test to fly back to the US as of now. That could change. But the process is super easy to get tested in Mexico before you go back. Once you're on the plane flying to Mexico, make sure you have a pen with you because you're gonna need to fill out immigration paperwork, which is super simple, but have the pen so you can fill it out. They usually don't have a pen for you. And then when you land, you'll have all your paperwork ready. You can hand it to them and then you can step into the next phase of immigration, which is
a game of red light, green light. So red light means they get to search your stuff, I believe, for like
they just
food.
check your stuff. It's easy.
For foods and meat. So if you're bringing meat, leave that behind. And then if you get green light, which I'm known for always getting the green light, knock on wood, green light means go. So
if they do look through your stuff and they ask for your passport again, make sure you get your passport back. Otherwise you'll forget your passport at the immigration and then you'll have to go back to immigration to get your passport 3 days later and go through a weird little room and then you don't want to deal with that.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
After you go through immigration, there will be a ATM machine that you will want to get your money from, your pesos. Get your pesos at the airport ATM. You can use ATMs elsewhere in Mexico, but they're not all reliable. We highly recommend the airport ATM in Puerto Vallarta.
The next step is you're gonna find a ride. So you can either use a taxi or a pre-arranged driver, which we have lots of recommendations for if that's something you would like. You can also take an Uber. Uber is a little bit outside of the airport. You would have to walk a route to the left as you exit that leads to Uber. They do not have Lyft. So you can take an Uber, a taxi, or have a pre-arranged driver waiting for you. If
you don't have a pre-arranged driver and you go with a taxi, they will overcharge you a bit. It'll probably end up being anywhere between $40 to $50 or more. If you do a pre-arranged driver, it will be the same thing essentially as a taxi or an Uber, and that'll probably be in like the $35 range or about 700 pesos. Uber could be anywhere from $20 to $40. The process though is a little different. As she said, you gotta walk out and go over this little bridge to catch Uber out there. If you need a driver, we have some recommendations. You can contact us and we'll give them to you. After that, you just drive. You just head up the coast.
45 minutes is all you're really looking at.
45-minute drive from the airport.
From PV to Sayulita, and then you're in Pueblo Magico.
It's a nice drive. You get to see the coast, and you get to go through the jungle. It's pretty chill, and then when you're there, you are in a very special place. So we highly recommend going to Sayulita. Again, we have our next retreat there in May. It's a healthy movement retreat, so we do movement and wellness practices. We stay at a private estate. There's lots of fun outdoor activities.
So if you want to check out what our retreat is about, you can check out our Instagram for our retreats, which is We Are Movement Makers. We will attach a link so you can actually find us. And yeah, we hope to see you guys there.